Hey everyone! So in today's video I am going to be recapping and discussing how week 2 of the Yes Theory Bootcamp went for me. So let's dive right in here. Week 2 was all about ideas. And while this week did not hit me as motivational or as inspiring as the first week, I still learned a lot. So the week started off with learning how to brainstorm. A lot of people think that for brainstorming, you need to have a group. And while a group is nice because you could run your ideas by them and they might be able to pinpoint things that you weren't able to, you should actually start off solo when you are doing your brainstorming. That way the ideas you're coming up with aren't going to be biased in any way, shape, or form based off of other people's ideas and responses. And furthermore, with the ideas, we discussed a lot about how when you are brainstorming, it is not about picking ideas, it's about generating. So don't judge them, simply write them down. Write as many ideas down as you possibly can, because while you definitely are going to have ideas that are just downright not smart, there's going to be other ideas that come from seeing this list that you would have never even thought of. And a big part of brainstorming that they discussed is how higher quality, or excuse me, higher quantity does not mean lower quality. It can actually be quite the opposite, such as Mozart. Mozart ended up posting his best work during his busiest years. So by posting a bunch of videos, like say 30 videos in 30 days for Project 30, you're more likely to have one of those videos actually take off, and you're also learning things quicker by producing more. So Project 30 was a huge thing that kicked off last week. My plans for Project 30 is to show you guys some different shorts of Rocky like I have been the last couple days, some videos on me playing the piano, some motivational videos, and some longer videos such as a road trip from Arizona to Michigan. Now, this road trip in particular is going to highlight major locations such as the Grand Canyon, Roswell, and New Orleans. So we are currently on day 6, and once I upload this video, I will have completed today's objective, and I have uploaded a total of 12 videos so far. Over the last several days, I was number 1 on the leaderboard for the challenge. And that's because I've been trying to post at least one longer video plus a short video, or at least 2 short videos every single day. Now, as I had mentioned last week, there was several quotes that stuck out to me, and that is true again this week. For example, one of my favorite quotes from this week's bootcamp sessions was throw your backpack over the fence. I guess this is actually a quote that Amar uses often. And the idea is by throwing your backpack over the fence, you have no ifs, ands, or buts then. Your backpack is on the opposite side and you need to find a way to get to the other side of that fence. Now, what exactly does that mean? It means that you have to accept there is not going to be failure. 30 videos in 30 days is a pretty big task. But if you're doubting yourself, you're just that much more likely not to succeed in it. So you got to throw your backpack over the fence. You got to make up in your mind that I am going to do this. I know I'm going to do this, regardless of how I'm feeling, because what could go wrong? Filming, motivation. Maybe your editing software isn't working. Maybe my headset stops working. So you have to just kind of accept these and try to plan ahead and come up with different ideas. You don't want to get 15 days into the challenge and all of a sudden you don't have any more ideas for the next 15. So throw your backpack over the fence and tell yourself deep down that you're going to do it. And the other quote that really stuck out to me is that done is better than perfect. Funny enough, this video, our session, was recorded on Tuesday, and Wednesday we ended up having a guest speaker at the college. I had not yet watched the session from the boot camp, and he came to the college and we were talking a little bit afterwards about my book and how, as he said, some things are better done than perfect. And that was the first time I really heard that, and he actually described that to me based off of how I was saying, like, so many people don't write books because they're worried about spelling or grammar, but there's best-selling books out there that have spelling mistakes. There really is. So you just gotta commit, you just gotta do it. So I heard that quote from him for the first time ever on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, I ended up watching the session and taking notes, and they talked about how done is better than perfect. Now, if I don't do 30 videos all 30 days, it kind of is what it is. Like, things do happen. I'm not using that as an excuse, but in a way that don't be too hard on yourself. Just keep going and keep doing the 30 days because done is better than perfect. If you post 28, 29 videos instead of 30, that's better than only doing 1 or 2. It's better than perfect. So, another aspect of last week's boot camp was all about mind maps. And this is a very, I don't know, rough example of what a mind map may look like. You actually have your main topic in the center, and then you have lines branching off from it. So in this case, we're talking about mind maps. Well, what about mind maps? Well, for starters, you should spend about 90 to 120 minutes working. So you make a branch, and you're only supposed to use 1 or 2 words. I kind of broke that just to make this example for you guys. But you make a branch, and then you put that down, 90 to 120 minutes. And then you make another line. You should do 20 minutes break. And then you make different lines too, like, okay, I want 20 minutes worth of a break, and then branch off of that. I could do this during a break, I could do this during a break, maybe a 5-minute meditation, 5 minutes to use the restroom, etc., etc. But why mind maps are so helpful is because you can connect dots that you don't otherwise see. For a poor use of words, it's honestly that though. There is relevance between 90 to 120 minutes worth of work and 20-minute breaks. Now, I might not think of connecting the two, but when you write it out, hey, it makes a lot of sense to work for 90 minutes and then take a 20-minute break. I can combine those two things. I could connect those dots. Now, the other part of mind maps is that it helps get rid of low-hanging fruit. What exactly does that mean? Well, low-hanging fruit is the ideas that are repetitive. Last week, we discussed if you're watching what everyone else is watching, you could only make what everyone else is making. So, the low-hanging fruit are those ideas that are repetitive, or it's the ideas that are just really way too easy and they're just not as interesting. By having mind maps, you're forcing yourself to connect dots and come up with better ideas. And that way you can get rid of the low hanging fruit and produce better videos. And last week was filled with accomplishments for me personally. For example, last Thursday on Project 30, I ended up getting my first ever passport. So I am really excited about that, and I have already been looking into all kinds of trips from Mexico to Canada to Denmark, all over Europe to Africa to South America, you name it. I've been looking up all kinds of packages. So I'm really excited about being able to finally have that. And outside of this, I did finally hit 500 subscribers after two and a half, 3 years. I have finally hit 500 subscribers, and I promised that if I hit 500 subscribers, I would do the polar plunge in Lake Superior. Now, I know many of you are really excited about that video, and many of you have already been asking when that video is coming up. Now, don't worry, I am not chickening out on you. I am not doing anything like that. The video is gonna happen. I am a man of my word, and I promised that I would do it. So we will be doing the polar plunge in Lake Superior, but it will be towards the end of Project 30. I figured that is going to be a perfect way to wrap it up. And until then, I can show you guys the process of how I am preparing and training, such as breathing techniques, or taking a cold shower, or pouring a bucket of ice water over my head. There's different ways that I am prepping for this, and I'm also taking different safety measures, and I also want to make sure that I have someone with me. And my sister is going to be finishing college here. That's another aspect of it. As a staff member, we are finishing college here within the next couple weeks. There is a lot going on, and I want to make sure that I make a really good quality video, and I don't feel like I can do that within the next 2-3 weeks. So we are going to be aiming for middle to end of May on that. Towards the end of Project 30, I will jump into Lake Superior or walk into Lake Superior, and I will be doing that for you guys as a thank you for helping me hit 500 subscribers. So that is week 2 of the Yes Theory Bootcamp. And before I end this video, I just want to give another reminder. If I hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which we're already halfway there, if we hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, I will go and get my first ever tattoo. For those who don't know, I do have a horrible, horrible phobia with needles. So this is another way that you guys can support me, and you could also push me into seeking discomfort, because I have been saying for years now that I am going to get a tattoo. I have not done it yet. I have thought of every excuse under the sun pretty much, if I am being honest. So go ahead, guys, give me that extra kick up to 1,000, but also give me that extra kick to keep seeking discomfort. And until then, take care, and I will see you all on the next adventure.